My name is H.A. Goodman, and I'm an author, columnist, and journalist. Hit subscribe right now. We are on our way to 140,000 subscribers. Make sure you get all notifications to this channel. Hit the subscription bell. Make sure you get all notifications. Please, 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 this is very important. I have a really wonderful op-ed just published in the Jerusalem Post. Please go ahead and all your social media platforms, share that. I am boycotting social media. I deleted my Twitter, my Facebook, all of them, Minds, everything. I only have, obviously, my YouTube channel and BitChute. But other than that, I've had enough of Twitter. But please go ahead and share this article. It highlights exactly why Democrats have embraced anti-Semitism and anti-Israel bias. That's the title of the op-ed in the Jerusalem Post. Very proud of it. Please share it everywhere. My Second Amendment channel, check that out. That also has a Daily Caller article within the pinned comment of every section of every segment of my Second Amendment channel. My latest one is a 357 Model 686 Smith & Wesson. Awesome. It also explains how I became a Second Amendment advocate after writing about gun control. I was on the left, big time, and my evolution in terms of that. And that was retweeted by the NRA, and the Gun Owners of America retweeted that article as well. I'm a member of both. Ladies and gentlemen, the State of the Union is going to address a bunch of things, but none more important than, well, the foreign policy objective of bringing home Americans from two perpetual quagmires. That's one of the main reasons to vote for Trump again in 2020, especially if you were on the left and you can't stand the Democratic Party for a number of reasons. But Trump is bringing home Americans. From a perspective on the left, there's nothing more liberal or progressive or moral, because people on the left, they strive ultimately to be so morally superior. That's their main thing. They want to be morally superior. You can't be morally superior if you are constantly sending Americans off to never-ending quagmires. He's bringing home Americans. He's presiding over peace between North and South Korea, bringing home, close to 10,000 Americans from two theaters of conflict. But also, Forbes, after revising its data for past periods, the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that seasonally adjusted non-farm employment grew by 5.1 million jobs in President Trump's first 2 years in office. Okay, 5.1 million jobs. He's created in his economy 5.1 million jobs in 2 years. If I spend 20 minutes saying the same thing over again, it's worth it. Trust me. It's worth it. Trust me. 5.1 million jobs. Spread the word. People think, this is a monster. He's not working. All this stuff. The economy is doing wonderfully. How many help wanted signs have you seen? Seriously, in the comment section, in your town or your city or your state, how many help wanted signs have you seen? Because I've seen more than I've ever seen. Go to McDonald's, help wanted. Go to a restaurant, help wanted. Go to a hardware store, help wanted. 5.1 million jobs in 2 years. He's going to bring up job creation. He's going to bring up the economy. President Obama created, this is thebalance.com, 8.9 million jobs in 8 years. By the end of December 2016, a 6.2% increase. Okay, but 8.9 million in 8 years compared to 5.1 million in 2 years. He could theoretically, very realistically surpass Obama's job creation in one term. He's going 2 terms. Democrats are not going to. Without the Mueller probe, they're not going to win. I mean, the Mueller probe helped them along with lying about Medicare for all in Congress. But they still lost the Senate to Republicans, like 5th time in 105 years. And I was right in 2016. Hillary Clinton lost. Democrats will lose again. I called 2020 in February of 2017. Actually, earlier than that. Trump's going to go 8 years. He's going to go 8 years. And this is one of the reasons. Now, you can deceive people. So I thought, I didn't realize that people were so gullible, and they are gullible. I didn't realize that, yeah, people will vote for AOC because she promised Medicare for all, but she's not drafting legislation. None of them are drafting any legislation. So they're just a bunch of just empty rhetoric. 2 years of empty rhetoric. They're not going to go roll into 2020 with double to triple tax increases or even 20 to 30 to 40% increases in taxes, corporate and personal income tax, to pay for Medicare for all. And then they say, well, you don't ask for you don't ask how military spending is paid for. Well, it's part of the budget. And number one, number two, you're going to have to ensure that Medicare for all is part of the budget. How are you going to do that? Do you have a tax plan? Do you have a way to generate the revenue? Well, you wouldn't have to pay for premiums. Not everybody wants that. People, a lot of millions of Americans, over 50% of Americans get their insurance through their employers. How do you know everyone wants Medicare for all? Well, there was a study that says 80%. Yeah, and when the study actually says, yeah, your taxes will go up, it goes to 30. So when there are pundits that say, oh, it's even Republicans, like they're lying or they're ignorant liars. Anyway, that's a whole other story. I mean, yeah, if it was feasible, that would be a great thing. I have an uncle in France who had open heart surgery. This is years back. I don't know what the healthcare system is like in France now, but years and years back, it was like $150 or $200, something like that. Open heart surgery. But this was like probably, 15 years ago. So I don't know what it's like now. Probably not as good. But yeah, Medicare for all. Anyway, I'm kidding. It would be feasible if we didn't have 320 million people and if we didn't have never-ending perpetual quagmires. But, okay, anyway, you have Max Boot and Hillary Clinton and the Democratic Party, 25 Democratic senators, voting against bringing home Americans from war. That's the problem. That's what AOC is not allowed, and that's what Bernie Sanders is not allowed to say. Bring home Americans. They're not allowed to say that. They're not allowed to say that. Everything is just, oh my God, you semantics, you said something horrible and vile and mean, and your life should be ruined. Or if you're a kid, you look at somebody and you just stand there looking, and oh my God, that look is a symbol of somebody. It's like they're complete. The left has all these neuroses that they try to link to these grandiose theories that ultimately are just a bunch of nonsense. But anyway, manufacturing. In fact, there has been a net loss of 303,000 manufacturing jobs. In 8 years of Obama, there was a net loss of 303,000 manufacturing jobs. That's down 303,000 from the number employed in January 2009, the same month Obama was sworn in as president. 467,000 manufacturing jobs. 467,000 manufacturing jobs were created under Trump, according to Forbes. Over the past 2 years, with the encouragement of Trump administration's red tape cutting policies and tax cut and reform law passed in December 2017, and they're like, oh, the tax cuts, oh my God, 1%. Oh. Yeah, well, it's working. The whole point of Bernie's economic program is, economic justice, but what is Bernie or anyone saying to grow the economy? To actually create 5.1 million jobs. How you're not going to fight the 1% with an economy that's contracting or an economy that's growing at a snail's pace. 1.6% average growth under Obama. In 2016, it was 1.6% growth. That's one of the reasons Trump won, and he's following through. 467,000 manufacturing jobs created. So you have a situation, ladies and gentlemen, where this is an economy that is growing. Foreign policy-wise, he has a great foreign policy. All of it, this smoke and mirrors propaganda regarding Trump. Well, look what he said. Look what he did. Oh, this could happen. He might have worked with Russia. The Mueller probe is essentially done. Finished. There is no more Mueller probe. William Barr is coming in Thursday. You want to watch this channel. Tell your friends about this channel. Share this channel on social media, message boards, whatever. If you're on Reddit, if you're on whatever. Share this channel. Share my voice. Please, please, please share my latest op-ed in the Jerusalem Post. It is below, and it's right above all the different links, 357, 44 Magnum. Then there was a Springfield Armory, 1911. I have a whole bunch of cool segments, and tomorrow I'll be going back to the range. And then next week I plan on taking my AR and AK, both California compliant, to the range, which means, I'll explain. I have a bunch of segments on HA Second Amendment on that. But, and then there's going to be some amazing segments next week. But they're all amazing, so check out HA Second Amendment. But the economy is growing at a rapid pace. People are working. Unemployment, wages are up. So you have wages up under Trump. You have Trump gets good news on wages. That's in September. Trump Economic Scoreboard. Okay, so you are looking at wages and salaries up 3.1%, highest level in a decade. That's October 31st. So you're looking at wages and salaries rose 3.1% in the third quarter. Wages and salaries rose the biggest increase in a decade, according to Labor Department. Wages and salaries rose 3.1% in the third quarter, the biggest increase in a decade. The biggest increase in a decade. Okay? What more do you need? What more do you need? I mean, it's like, what more do you need to show that? Then they're like, oh, he's not even working. Imagine if he worked, how horrible it would be. No, if he's not working and he's presiding over this economic, I mean, I don't want to say miracle. You could say miracle, but there's no way to say that, well, this is just not that big of a deal. It's not Obama's economy. Obama left office with a 1.6% GDP growth, and he only grew 8.9 million jobs created 8.9 million jobs. So, U.S. jobs report for December, wages accelerate. Wages accelerate. Average hourly earnings rose 3.2% from a year earlier, more than projected, and matched the fastest pace since 2009. Then you're talking about 2009 was a fast pace because they pumped money into banks, and obviously the initial move up is going to be a rapid pace from a recession. One would hope, and that's what took place. U.S. payrolls rise 312,000. Wages accelerate. Okay, so, and this was January 4th, 2019. So then how is this again, they're like, oh, well, wages are stagnant. No, wages are rising. Paul Krugman was wrong. All of these people, look, you cannot, at the end of the day, you cannot overlook the economy is number one in terms of importance. Number one in terms of importance. Always. Always. For voters. Number one in terms of importance for voters. When you look at the economy, when you look at job growth, I mean, there's no comparison between Obama and Trump. There's no comparison. In foreign policy, he's presiding over peace between North and South Korea. So in any rational universe, if it was just objective, they weren't focused on Trump-Russia, which is a fantasy. You're looking at a very good president. And you're talking now, what they've done is they've criminalized sensibilities, or they've made their sensibilities more important than reality. Oh, we don't like Trump's personality. Oh my God, his personality leads to this theory and this theory of history. It's like, no, it's all a bunch of nonsense based on your neuroses on the left. Look at the economy, look at foreign policy. Far better than Obama. Far better. The recession ended in 2009. When was the official end of the recession? Here, official end of recession. June 2009. Okay? According to the National Bureau of Economic Research, the recession in the United States began in December 2007 and ended in June 2009. Thus extending over. So the recession ended in June 2009. Okay? What happened from 2009 to 2016, where it was an anemic economic growth, where he barely created more jobs? I mean, just, 4 million more jobs in 8 years than Trump created in 2 years. Hit subscribe right now. Check out my op-ed in the Jerusalem Post, and this State of the Union is going to be amazing. Thank you so very, very much. Make sure you get all notifications to this channel. Thank you.